What's up, LEGO builders? Welcome back to Coconut Brick Studios. Now, as many of you know, I'm not much of a minifig collector and more of a large mock builder and amateur castle builder. I'm just kidding, I haven't built one of those in years.
You can't keep getting away with it!
But I do have a soft spot in my heart for Star Wars minifigs, and recently I've been drawn more into the very interesting and very expensive world of customs. Mostly due to the fact that LEGO just likes to keep giving us the same minifigs over and over again. I've also been wanting to branch out of the usual MOCs and try building some new places with some new characters. All this combined prompted me to dump my meager life savings into rare and obscure minifigs. Today I'm going over a minifig haul worth over $300, and of course, me being the mock addict I am, I challenged myself to build a mock for each of the minifigs. Well, kind of, but you'll see what I mean. All that being said, I really need to make my money back on this one, so don't forget to execute order 66 on that like button, and let's get building. I'm starting out with an order from a place I rarely shop from, Clone Army Customs. Normally their stuff is just too expensive for my taste, but they recently released a custom battle droid and I just couldn't keep my hands off them.
What did he say?
This battle droid not only has a sweet custom backpack, but movable legs and hands. There's a side-by-side comparison of CAC's battle droid and LEGO's battle droid, and from the feet to the head, CAC's droid just looks better. I decided to go with a gloomy ambush for the first mock. I want to have droids marching boldly out of the foliage, showing off those sweet legs. I haven't done Umbara in a while, and I want to try something new with it. Instead of the typical 501st charge through the forest, I'm building a snot road leading through the dense jungles of Umbara. One cool thing about the roads on Umbara are the luminous blue lights built into them, so I'm adding some trans blue brick to represent that. It's a small vignette of a build, so I'm only going to include a chunk of the road, but I also want to build some of the inky black terrain and foliage iconic to the planet. So I'm going to build a little crescent patch of ground with wedge plate. The end goal is basically to make a puzzle piece that fits into shape with the road. It'll be a pretty rough connection, but I can fill in the gaps with wedge plate. Another key ingredient when building Umbara is color. For how dark the planet is, it's full of reds, pinks, and vibrant colors, not just on the ground, but in the plants as well. Luckily, I've built Umbara before, so I have some good plant pieces to use, from the trans red heads to dino tail plants. But before I finish the mock, I have another minifig to reveal. I bought this one from Minifigs for You. They were running a sale on Commander Wolf for $20, and he's been on my list for a while, so it felt like a good time to pull the trigger. He's very detailed and accurate, plus you get the cloth waist cape, and I think he might be one of my favorite P2 commanders in my collection. Deep in the jungles of Umbara, Plo Koon and Commander Wolf were on their way to the capital to aid Obi-Wan when their patrol was ambushed by a hidden group of battle droids. This is concerning news, since up until now, no battle droid forces have been reported to be on the ground. While not my best Umbara mock, I like the challenge of building something new on the planet, and these droids are so much fun to work with. Being able to have them walk and move just opens up so many more postures, and gone are the days of invading droid forces who just kind of stand around. I also have a really cool video planned with this wolf minifig. Next, I'm unpacking the rest of my Clone Army Customs haul. I also got some of the battle droids in dark orange. I won't be needing these anytime soon, but I really just wanted some for my collection. You know I gotta do a classic Geonosis mock with these bad boys, and a recent entry in my mock contest from Axel Brick made me want to do something with Delta Squad as well. Now, Geonosis mocks are a little tricky for me since I don't have a lot of dark orange on hand, but I want to try something new to combat that. Solid Brick Studios really changed the Geonosis game by building his rock walls out of mostly plate instead of slopes, so I'm going to try something similar. I'm building a door to a secret research base and a cliff wall and covering around it with plate. I still want the walls to have some kind of detail, so I'm going to add wedge plates and tiles to make different shapes on the rock face. And I must say, I'm really pleased with how it's looking so far. This could open up the possibility of larger Geonosis mocks on the future. Since I had the droids ambushing in the last one, it's time for the Republic to return the favor, which makes more sense anyway since it's usually the clones clowning on the droids. I'm convinced this is the new way to build walls on Geonosis. I was worried they would be too flat and boring, but the plate and tile adds just the right amount of texture and detail. This is not the Monday these droids were hoping for. Tasked with guarding the door to a secret research facility in the middle of a hidden canyon, the droids thought they were in for a pretty boring day, but Delta Squad had other plans. Attacking from in front and above, they took the droids by surprise and made sure their next stop was the scrap pile. I'm also loving how posable these droids are. Even just having the moving legs gives me so many new options for positioning, and now I can finally add a droid room to the legendary Gungan Dance Club. Next up, we have another named character, but this is no clone. No, in fact, it is none other than the fearsome separatist general Riftson. Whoever decided the Seps didn't have enough scary leaders and created a terrifying shark general really needs a raise. I bought him from eBay, so this is a one-of-one custom. It's a 3D printed and hand-painted head on an official LEGO torso and legs, so it's closer to a full LEGO minifig than the droids. But I mean, at the end of the day, a cool minifig is a cool minifig, unless it's this abomination. For this guy's mock, I wanted to think outside the box and inside the bubble. Since this guy is an aquatic species, I knew it needed to be an underwater mock. How do I make an underwater mock without making it a Gungan one?
How'd that get in there?
Once again, taking inspiration from my mock contest and the winning entry, which made an ambush in the city of Otto Gunga. I've been wanting to build that city for so long, and I finally have a chance to test out some techniques for building the unique bubble structures. I started by building a round cage with flexible hoses, then I built a roundish platform and added some brown plate and tile to give it a more tribal feel, and then tried to connect the two. Still stinging from their defeat on Naboo by the hands of a boy and some Gungans, the Neimoidians have tasked Riftson with returning to the planet and sacking Otto Gunga. Taken by surprise at the bold move, the Gungans only have a light security force present when Tamsin attacks. Unfortunately, the bubble design didn't turn out quite how I had hoped. It looks more like a cone and something you would see on Kashyyyk, but I'm gonna keep trying. I think the bendable hoses are still the way to go. I just may need to bend them a little bit more and have a wider base. Let me know in the comments if you think the Gungans will stand a chance against the fearsome Rift Tamsin. We're now leaving the Clone Wars behind and entering a realm I don't build often, but should probably do more: the original trilogy. I went ahead and bought some MIM Band troopers from Forest Moon Bricks. I've had my eye on these guys for so long and finally came up with a video idea that justified getting some. I bought one complete fig and some bodies and a cape and a head so I can create some more custom MIM Band troopers while saving a little money. MIM Band troopers means only one thing: a good old MIM Band mock. I know it's a really small sequence from a movie that most people forget exists. MIM Band is actually one of my favorite battles in all of Star Wars. As a World War II and World War I enthusiast, I really enjoy the similarities to those wars in the battle. From the chaos of the charging soldiers out of the trenches to the massive artillery guns walking around on legs, it's the perfect blend of realism and science fiction. I wish we got to see more of it. Because trench warfare is so rarely seen in Star Wars, I want to take advantage of this opportunity and raise the whole mock-up off the ground so I can build part of a trench at the back. This is going to be a scary build though, because as many of you know, it's really hard to build with a reddish brown without breaking pieces. But that's the most accurate color to the actual scene, so I'm going to soldier through. I do have a custom AT-DT I can use, but it's currently decaying in a swamp and needs to be restored. Yoink! Now it's time for the accessories. There'll be a big explosion behind the walker with a trooper dodging it narrowly as he seeks to destroy something with a giant rocket launcher. I was going to have a soldier climbing up the ladder, but he's too heavy and pulls the whole thing down. I could build MIM Band mocks for days. It's a whole new color palette and I love getting to build anything reminiscent of the World Wars. The call has been sounded and it's up and out of the trenches. Following the lumbering AT-DT, these Imperial troops are doing their best to make it over the next rise and overtake the next enemy line of defenses before taking fire from the dreaded guerrilla forces. I enjoyed being able to bust out the AT-DT again and really want to build a bigger version of this scene. I'm really impressed with all the printing and detailing on these minifigs. There's even flecks of mud on their uniforms and clumps of it on their boots. I have the perfect mock for this next minifig, but it's buried deep in a box of random builds and needs some slight restoration. I thought I'd save the coolest minifig for last, mostly because he arrived after I'd started making the video. I bought this one from eBay as well, and is one of the only minifigs I don't have a specific plan for. I just wanted him in the collection. It's none other than Chancellor Palpatine's right-hand man, Mas Amedda. This is another hand-painted one-of-one minifig, and just like old Riff, this one's a real beauty. I'm so impressed with people's painting skills and ability to make these figs so accurate, as this one and Tamsin were both bought from different people. I knew I had to reuse this old custom diorama from a video last year where I built potential prequel-themed dioramas sets LEGO could release. This one in particular was Palpatine's office, and I felt like it's the perfect backdrop for this minifig. I imagine Mas and Palp spent many a late night surveying the towering Coruscant skyline while they schemed how to give the Republic the old razzle-dazzle and turn it into an empire. I'm pretty happy I bought this guy. He was a bit pricey, but it is a very unique and well-constructed minifig. I also included some Senate commandos, and just imagine how hard a set with these figs would go. Although LEGO might not have enough cloth for all those capes after the release of the new Dune set. I couldn't be happier with this haul. All the minifigs arrived and look fantastic, so get ready for some new mocks and videos. I'm especially excited to put those MIM Band troopers to use, along with a massive custom Imperial war machine. Don't worry, even though I'm broadening my horizons, I'm still not going anywhere near the sequels. I do think the Mas Amedda minifig is the coolest one, but probably the one I'll use the least just because the scenes I can use him in are very limited and I've kind of already done Coruscant. But I mostly just bought him because of how cool he looks. Don't forget to let me know which of the minifigs was your favorite as well as what you thought of the mocks, and I'll catch you next time, but until then, happy building.